Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode, I'll be covering 3 more builds at Tokyo Expressway that are new in a way and have new swaps in some of them. First one we'll be going through is going to be the Renault Cilo with its new engine swap. I had a request build to do this car. After we get done with the Renault Cilo, we're going to move over to a classic, the Honda NSX JCTC, which was another request run at Tokyo Expressway 600. And after we get particularly done with that particular build, our last car is going to be another request build using the Mitsubishi twin turbo swap at Tokyo Expressway as well. And for this particular swap, I'll be choosing the Dodge Demon Challenger over the Escudo. So hopefully these 3 new builds will help you in your Tokyo grinds, or just in case if you haven't won it just yet, hopefully these 3 builds will do that for you. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the episode. So starting off with the Renault Cilo, you can find this car at the used car dealership, but I would recommend going ahead and grab it right now before it actually does in fact sell out, since it actually is in limited stock. After you grab the car, we're now going to be focused on the engine swap. We're only going to be focusing on the swap itself. We're going to keep the body as is, standard, so you don't need to get a wide body for this particular car. As we go into further detail on what that particular swap is, in order for you to actually purchase a engine swap, you must be collector level 50, which is a hot pink number right on top of the right screen. If you haven't yet reached that collector level in the game, there will be an alternative route to actually get you an engine swap, which I'll discuss in a minute. But for our engine, it's going to be using the 98 Rally Subaru Impreza swap. The other cars that actually use that swap is the Type R 99 Impreza and the 98 Impreza. They also use this particular swap as well, so we know how great the swap is for both those cars at Tokyo Expressway. So hopefully this engine can be very successful for this car. As you can see, once we do this swap, we'll be well over the 600 point criteria, meaning we'll have to actually do some nerfing for this car in order for us to make it legal to race at Tokyo Expressway. But once you go ahead and install the engine with this car, we'll continue on and show the alternative route to grab the car. So let's say if you're not yet level 50 in the game, which I mentioned before, you can always go to your home, go to where that box is where it says tuning parts, and the main thing you're going to be looking at is a light up taskbar like this. You can see this particular lit up taskbar. The top right of the corner says compatible. This is what you're going to be looking for any particular engine swap that you're planning on doing. And as you can see for the example, that this particular taskbar is in fact more of a lighter shade gray compared to the other ones. After you see that, just ignore this paragraph right here, especially if you get you a new car with no parts installed. Click on the white installed button, and after that just say yes, and just like that you'll have yourself the swap free for the car. As you can see, we got the little engine logo right beside the engine palette, and of course when we back out, you can see the HP and the PP points also increased as well. And that's how you do the alternative route of an engine swap. Moving on to the liveries for this episode, I'm going to put them all together for this particular one clip rather than just going back and forth with it. So if you would like to follow me in the game and make your life a little bit easier, you can search me up at Jeffrey GT7YT. That way, if you do want to copycat the liveries I do showcase in my episodes, you can do that rather than just manually have to search them all. So if you do find my page, you just go ahead to my activities. The first things first, for the Mitsubishi twin turbo, I'll be using this livery. So if you want to go ahead and just pause the game and just copy the hashtag of that particular search if you want to, you can. If you have that car on hand, you can do that. So that's what I'll be using for the Mitsubishi twin turbo. After this particular car, I'll be showing you what I've used for the next car, which is my Honda NSX JCTC, which I personally did myself, which I thought was pretty cool looking after the product was finished. So here it is right here. Now for this particular car, there really isn't any parts changed to the car. I kept everything as was originally. I just changed the color format of the car. I kind of in a way kept it original in some ways, but you can just clearly tell it has more of a bluish camo on top of the car. But I think it overall turned out pretty good overall. Alright, so for Renault Clio, here is the livery that I'll be using. Of course, this is from the masterpiece of Gran Turismo 3. If you want to go ahead and just basically copy the hashtags, you can. I would recommend if you go to your content search, just type in GT3, and you should be easily find this livery in the search tab. Now, let's say if you did not want the livery, but you better have the parts, I'll showcase them right here. Start off with the wheels. Here they are, so just give you a minute to pause the episode and just go through each part, but it's pretty easy. All you got here for the Renault is going to be the wheels, the front bumper, and the wing. That is going to be it for the car. After you get your parts together, here is what I have particularly in my setup. If you also want to go ahead and just pause the episode and just copy down the numbers, especially for the suspension, the ballast, also for the downforce as well. That's for the first part of the list. For the second part, as you can see, we basically didn't do too much except just add the high RPM turbocharger and the increase or the steering angle adapter, and that's pretty much be it for the build itself. So let's go ahead now and move down to our first race at Tokyo Expressway with the Renault Clio. And starting off, the car sounds really good. I mean, I could just literally picture this car, it being a really great car to use for any of the rallycross events, which is will be a really good fit for this car. The car may not be as fast as both Impreza's, but you can still see the top speed is the best overall the rest of the field in this race. So for speed, you shouldn't have any issues with it. Handling base, the car is actually a little bit on the loose side, a little bit oversteer, but you shouldn't be not too worried about losing too much control of the car overall. In this race, and also for the two other races I'll feature later in the episode, I'm actually using my PS5 controller for these races. If you're curious, I've decided to take a little bit of break on the G29 Logitech wheel for this episode. But as you can see, our progress is actually going pretty good. We managed to go ahead and find ourselves right in the podium spot about halfway through the first lap, so this is actually a pretty good run for the Renault Clio. As we get ourselves a good run on the old gen Supra, we get a little bit too tight and hit the wall. We're trying to get ourselves a good run of these apexes, but we just can't quite do it just yet. But we do get a little bit of a slingshot pass done right there, and that's going to allow us to move into P2, and now we can focus on the race leader, which is of course the Honda NSX. And these next couple turns right here, the car actually does feel pretty good. Might feel like it's gliding a little bit in some of these corners and a little bit sideways, but despite that, the car should feel pretty decently good to drive. It just, all it matters is just basically just being careful for your braking points, making sure you get back on the gas at a good time, and also making sure that you basically just be a little bit extra careful how the car can slide from side to side. First lap, not too bad from last place to P2, and not to mention, but we're also catching the leader too. As you can see there, it is down the road. It's going to be a very quick first lap overall as well, which is a really good start. It's going to be a 2:18.4 for our first lap, and then basically later in lap 2, as we're almost the halfway mark on lap 2, we find ourselves pretty much close to where we were between ourselves and the Supra. We do get ourselves a nice run from the Honda, get ourselves that race lead, and basically from that point on just run away from it. Fast forward to lap number 8, it's going to be our scheduled pit stop, and as you can see from the lap times, this car does have really good race pace overall, being able to do a couple of 207s and 206s and 7s through this whole entire stint. So we come in pit road. I wasn't too sure how I felt about the tires, so I've thought about playing it safe and just get ourselves a new set of tires in the car. And then for fuel, I would recommend at least maybe 52 to 55% on fuel whenever you do your refuel, just to make sure you do have a little bit of a margin buffer to go with, just in case you actually do burn extra fuel than what you anticipated in the next stint. and from that point on we can go ahead and now fast forward to our hot lap, which is going to occur on lap 11. So it did take us a little bit of a while just to get the car going, but I tell you this, once we get that car going with that new fresh set of tires, it just took off like a rocket. So lap 11 is going to be our official hot lap for the race. I really recommend you guys watching this hot lap, and I'll see you guys at the end of race number 1. Alright, so as we're about to finish up the race, overall pretty good pace from the car itself. We did ourselves a flat 26-minute run with this particular car, so a really good package overall using the Renault Cilo with the Rally 98 swap. As you can see, we did ourselves a 2:05 for our hot lap, which occurred on lap 11, which you guys saw. Got ourselves that sweet clean race bonus, and that's going to be it for run number 1. Now switching gears to run number 2, we're going to be looking for the NSX GT500. Now unfortunately this car here is one of those cars you have to wait to show up in the Legends car dealership, and unfortunately it's not here in the game. But if you do have it, we can continue on with the build. So you guys did see a delivery. If you guys want to have delivery installed, you can. Here is the build itself. We're going to be using a mixed compound tire for this particular build. If you want to go ahead and just pause the episode, copy down the numbers, if you want to, you can, especially for the suspension. Here's the other part of the list. We got ourselves pretty much nothing else on the back of the list, so it's pretty simple, easy to tune overall, just nerfing the overall HP and having comfort mediums on the front wheels and then sport rears for the back. There's nothing really too much to really discuss about this race. This is actually going to be the fastest race out of the 3 races I'll be showcasing in this video. All I did here was mainly going to do is just 12 time trial laps. That's all I'll be doing here. Now for the car, since it's got a mixed compound, I will go ahead and say this, just be warned that the car is going to feel a little bit tight whenever you do turn it, either on controller or on the wheel. I did notice that with the mixed compound tires, the front tires generally don't turn. I mean, the car still has that handling aspect since it's a Group 3 race car, but even with the mixed compounds, it's going to feel a little bit tight. But your Sector 2 overall should be still faster than everybody else as they go through Sector 2 in this particular corner. So you just got to make sure you get your car aligned right at the right racing time or racing line, and just make sure you have enough speed and brake distance whenever you do your turns. And that's pretty much going to be it. So nothing really too much to say about this particular race here at Tokyo Expressway using this car. You should not have to worry about making a pit stop, just simply because we got ourselves a race engine, and since we got ourselves a Group 3 engine, we could basically just not worry about with fuel whatsoever in this type of car. So Like I said, just do at least 12 time trial laps and you should be fine. Later in the run, your car should go a bit quicker since you'll be burning off some of that fuel off as well. And I'll be showcasing the last lap, which is going to be, we could be use it for a demo lap. I don't think it was the fastest lap of the race that I did personally, but we would just use it for a demo lap. But you know, first lap, nowhere near close to where we were compared to the Renault Cilo, unfortunately, just second P7, and you just have to rely on the other drivers when they make their pit stops to jump them whenever they make their pit stop. So fast forward to the beginning of the last lap. As you can see, we mainly did a lot of 212s is what we did a lot of, and we did the upper 211s just because we had some fuel burned off. But I'll let you guys watch this demonstration lap, and then I'll see you guys when we get to the end of this race. Alright, so as we finished with the race, it wasn't too bad overall. I mean, I know there's a lot of cars going to beat this, but 26-36, which I thought wasn't too bad overall for this particular car. Got ourselves standard bonus, and that's going to be it for race 2. Now moving on to the last race, which is going to be the twin-turbo Mitsubishi. Unfortunately, it's one of those cars you got to wait for it to be at the used car dealership, and as you can see here, it's not here. But if you do have it, then we can continue on with the next bit for the car. So of course our main focus first is going to be getting the wide body into the car. So make sure you just save enough credits just to get the wide body first. It's going to really help us a lot at Tokyo Expressway. So after you get the wide body installed in the car, we'll be focused on the engine swap, which I did mention earlier. In order for you to purchase the engine swap, you have to be at least collector of 50, which is of course that hot pink magenta number on top of the screen. Now you can see this particular car does in fact have two swaps. As you see, we got two different price ranges from 200,000 credits to 950,000 credits, and I'll be discussing what that means. Got two swaps. The 950K is the Escudo and the 200,000 is the Dodge Demon Challenger. Now, as you guys may notice, that the Dodge Challenger Demon swap actually gives you a lot more PP points than it does with the Escudo. And as you can also see that we do in fact go ahead and go this method using the Demon Challenger engine, that we'll have to go ahead and do a little bit of nerfing, so that way the car could be eligible for Tokyo Expressway. As you can see right there, the Escudo, you can see the points not near as much. It's still in the 500s, but we're going to be using the Demon Challenger anyway because it is a lot better compared to the Escudo. And all we're going to do here is just click install and say yes, and that's going to be it for our engine swap for this car. And I do really recommend the Demon Challenger over the Skidoo for this particular car. So after that, if you guys want to go ahead and get the parts from the car, here they are right here, just in case you don't want the livery. Here are the rims. If you want to go ahead and just copycat, you can. And I'll be showing you guys the rest of these parts. For your type A for the front bumper, if you want it, there it is for the next part. After you get this part installed, the next part you need is going to be from the side. I think the side is actually more of a cosmetic look than an actual performance look. It doesn't really change the PP points, so we're going to go for type A because the delivery calls for it. For the rear bumper, which is going to be pretty crucial, it's going to be type A as well, so make sure you have that equipped to your car. And then for your last important part, it's going to be the custom wing set, and that's going to be it for the build, the parts you need from car customization. Now let's switch over to the build itself, and this is actually going to be pretty simple. Sport tires, fully customized differential with a torque vectoring differential as well, and that torque vectoring system is going to be actually 2575 instead of 4555. Downforce 50 for the front, 275 for the back. The ballast, there it is right there. And then for our last part for this particular build on the second sheet is going to be the increased vibration date, and that's going to be it for the tune. So nothing too crazy about it, just making some changes on the downforce, adding some weight to the car, and that's pretty much it for the car. So as we get started with the race, we're going to be in a course feed map 1 from the beginning of the race until the end. And this car, the way it just goes like a rocket. Very good acceleration, very good top speed as well. As we get to the first turn, we'll be well within the top 5 as we make our way through the pack, and it is just very, very quick. I would say, of course, the fuel mileage is the worst part about the car, but despite that, it just overall actually felt pretty good to drive, considering how much weight it carried and having it a supercharger. It actually felt decently good to drive. As we get through these first couple corners, I would recommend staying around third gear in some of these turns and just try to get the car in a good feeling sensation, fill it out. As you can see, we're going to be within easily getting fourth and third places from both the Impreza and the Supra. Making a little bit of contact from the Supra as we finally get their spot away from the Supra. Just barely managed to grab it as we get through the overpass. We're going to find ourselves right behind the RX-7. We're going to try to go ahead and get ourselves a good chain going of these next couple corners, and going to really reel in the RX-7. As surprisingly, this car it'll surprise you. It's really, really good on the turns. You might have to do some power sliding in some of these corners, but despite that, the car itself is actually decently good when it comes to turning. Even though if you look at the list of what it has in stock for it, it'll actually surprise you. As we go down the hill, we're trying our best to actually catch up to the RX-7. Once we get to this right-hand turn, this car is actually one of those cars that actually managed this turn decently well, so you don't have to worry about too much of the car losing control or spinning out. Just stay in gear 2 is what I recommend being at, and just slowly get back to the power. And then once you get to the start-finish line, this is going to be your main strength in this race. It's going to be the start-finish line area. So once we get through the gears and get the speed back, we're going to get the tow from the RX-7 easily. We're going to get P2 once we cross the start-finish line, as we're going to easily bypass the RX-7, doing a 2:17, which was a very decently good first lap. And we're not even done yet. There's the race leader. We're going to go ahead and get some of that slipstream from the race leader and easily take away the lead right before we get the first turn. And that's going to be it for our first 2 laps in this race. We basically did run away from the pack. We got ourselves a huge lead over the rest of everybody else. We're going to go in pit road. Lap 6, it's going to be our pit stop. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves not only a full tank of gas, but we're going to go ahead and change tires as well, just to be on the safe side, just in case if we do have some major front tire degradation that we can avoid from late in the race. And thankfully, since we actually made it over halfway through the race, this will be our one and only pit stop for this race as well. And since we had ourselves a huge buffer, once we had our pit stop finished and completed, we actually didn't lose a lead from the RX-7, which was very nice. Once we get back on the track, we actually went ahead and got ourselves in a really good rhythm. And speaking of good rhythms, we're going to go ahead and fast forward to our hot lap, which is going to occur on lap number 8. And I really encourage you guys to watch this hot lap because it's going to be very, very quick. And after that, I'll see you guys when we get to the end of the episode. Alright, so as we finish up the race, it's going to be a very quick 25:56 overall for our total time. So we actually did made it barely in the verge of losing gas and just coasting. Hit a 12.4 on lap number 8, which you guys saw. Very fast, quick car if you do have it. If you do have the engine for it, I really recommend giving it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, then try them all. Got ourselves that clearance bonus, and that's going to be it for the episode. So here's a quick preview of the next episode. We got ourselves the Mitsubishi Evo Group 4 engine swap. I'll be using this car at Tokyo Expressway, see what I can do with it. I did some testing with it earlier, and the car seems pretty balanced overall. I mean, there's nothing really too much to really praise it about. I'll just have to wait and see what I can come up with this car, but as long as it still has some decently good speed and a really good gas mileage, I shouldn't really complain too much. We'll just have to wait and see what the outcome is going to be for this car. And after we get done with this particular build, the other build I'll be doing is going to be the Ferrari 512BP. And this particular car was a request build, and I'll be using this Joule at Le Mans. And you can see, I look at the car, it looks really, really good on the track using that wide car body with all the wide flares. It actually looks like a car you see from the 70s in a pro class GT race. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, why not go ahead and leave a like. If you guys like to support the channel and like to see my content later down the road, why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as we're getting closer and closer to 4,000 subscribers. So I thank all of you guys for supporting the channel. If there's a particular build you'd like to see, you're more welcome to put it in the comments below. If you go and check the last episode I did cover, there it is right there as well. And with that being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night, wherever it might be, and I'll see you guys later, and take care.